Good morning, youth development advocates. I hope you all have remained healthy and safe during the multiple pandemics in our country. This will be our very first virtual Java with James. Our objective is to provide a space for mentoring professionals such as yourselves to convene, discuss problems, complications, and solutions to impacts on COVID-19. Future sessions may include speakers to provide resources and solutions to ongoing problems, but today we wanted to focus on reconnecting with you all to announce the latest addition to our team. Before we begin, I wanted to start with a quick icebreaker. If everyone could say their name and something creative you're looking forward to doing over the holiday break. I can start. My name is Victor Amabli. I've been at Mentor Washington for 2 years. Currently, I work to expand quality assurance programs such as the National Mentoring Resource Center and the National Quality Mentoring System, while supporting Mentor Washington's efforts around diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as incubated program models. This holiday break, I have decided to build a basic home gym. I can't spend the holiday with family due to health risks, and going to the local gyms are just a little too risky for me. Plus, working from home has made me fat. So that's my piece. Anyone who wants to go next, feel free to unmute yourself, and you know, I'll pass it to Tom so that we.
Okay, so this is Tom Pinella. I've been with Mentor Washington for the last 20 years. I serve as their partnership director. I'm on loan through DCYF, Department of Youth and Family Services. One of the things that I'm doing, if you get the basic gym, because Victor, I don't know if you've looked yet, there is no gym equipment out there, so I think it's going to be outside running, push-ups, the kind of rocky thing you're going to be doing. So nice to meet everyone today as well, and I'm looking forward to James's presentation.
I will pass the mic to Robin.
Good morning, everyone. I've been in the mentoring game since '01. Ran the program for the juvenile department for 17 years and started then when they decided that mentoring was too much of a potential liability. I took the same grant that I was under and I went under the United Way. My program is Empowering Youth Mentor Program. And right now I'm mostly working with youth who have been sexually or physically abused. So I'm collaborating with Camp Rise and the Kitsap Sexual Assault Center. But I'm also still serving the general population of Kitsap County. I'm located in Bremerton. You might want to try, Victor, filling a burlap bag with sand. That's what some people are doing to lift weights. I'm just being lazy. I don't know. I'm trying to write poetry, and I reconnected with my writing group. And I challenged everybody to read other poets, pick at least one poem a month to print out and put into a binder that they can reflect on and continue to enjoy. And then to take that poem and have it be a inspiration for their own poem. So that's kind of one of the things I'm working on right now.
Thanks, Robin. I will pass it then to Susanna.
Hey, I'm from Lopez Island Family Resource Center, and I am also far, far from home. My family lives in the Bay Area and the Carolinas and overseas, so there's no chance of crossing paths anytime soon. And I guess creative, I feel like it's a little bit creative that I get up every day right now, honestly. It's a drag. But I've got 2 projects going. I have a big piece of wood that came off of my friend's property that I'm gonna turn into a sink, countertop. And then my siblings and I have been exchanging singing videos with each other to try to challenge each other to remember certain songs, and I won today. stumped them. Moving Star Hall singers is what I sang for them, and they couldn't guess it.
Thank you, Susanna. Patsy, if you'd like to go next.
Sure. Hi, I'm Patsy. It says Patricia there, but I actually go by Patsy. And hello. I work with Susanna on Lopez Island. We have a community-based mentoring program, and we also have a group mentoring and for a middle school girls group, and we're looking forward to getting one started for a boys group as well here soon. And boy, I kind of agree with you guys. Like, yeah, just getting up every day and keeping going during this time feels like an accomplishment. I try to get outside as much as I can. That's what feeds me. So we actually just came back from a road trip in a 33-year-old camper, VW camper van. And my husband and I survived living in that for a couple weeks together, which was amazing, only about 60 square feet. But I just like getting out. And my son has moved back here with 3 rescue dogs. And so I try to get out every day and just walk. And that really is something that feeds my soul, keeps me helps burning the calories from the food you eat at home, right? So yeah, that's what I want to do. Just get out there. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Patsy. Up next, Kathy.
Hi guys, I'm Kathy Hyland from North Bend, Washington, and I work for the Youth Success Mentoring Program through Snoqualmie Valley Community Network with Heather Downing. And I'm fairly new to this. I came on in July. Before that, I ran a daycare in our valley for 20 years and a lot of volunteering. So, and I put myself back through school to get my degree when my son was graduating high school. So I have my degree from UW and I'm looking forward to using it for this program. What I'm going to do over the break, I'm a wood artist, and I've been working like crazy doing projects that I normally sell, and so I'm going to take a break from that over the holiday break and get back to a program I do where I create flags for vets and first responders been injured on the job, and I'm working on a flag for a local family whose son was in the helicopter crash that the movie Black Hawk Down was created for. So I'm excited to get that started for them so they can surprise him with it.
Wow, thank you for that. Kelly, if you'd like to go next.
Hi, good morning. My name is Kelly Heinrichs, and I work for communities and schools in Spokane County, and I run the mentoring program in our area. And my husband and I decided to remodel our house during COVID. So what is started as a creative idea has now turned into a lot of work. So I'm going to rename that creativity so we can finish projects over break. And same for cooking. I enjoy cooking, but it's turned into a chore. So I decided I'm going to start enjoying cooking again and getting creative so we're not having the same 5 meals every single week. So that's my goal.
Thanks, Kelly. Heidi.
Everybody, I'm Heidi Kahler with the Voice Mentor Program in the Issaquah School District. It's good to see a lot of familiar faces out there. So Voice, we provide mentoring, one-on-one mentoring for kids K through 12 in every school in our district. So it's 24 schools. I've been a mentor in the program for 8 years, and I've been with the program co-managing with Tina Weber for the last 4 years. And this break, I'm kind of excited. We have a little free library on our property, and we are currently thinking about converting at least part of it to a little free pantry. So I'm in the process of kind of doing a needs assessment and kind of trying to figure out if it's going to work and what that's going to look like. So we're pretty excited about it.
Thank you, Heidi. Mike, you're up. Oh, here, let me click the button to unmute you, Mike.
There we go.
There you go.
Hi, everyone. This is Mike, and I'm with the U District Foundation Mentoring Program in Spokane. We're a small program, and we've been around since 2011, so we just hit our 9th anniversary. And I'm just reaching out to some mentors today, actually, because it's been a while and just need to touch base with them and find out how things are going in this upside down world. So I've been thinking a lot about my response to the pandemic and what I'm doing. I have a wood lathe and I enjoy turning projects on that, and I'm doing some projects for Christmas for gifts. But you know what it really comes down to for me is I guess the impact that all these changes have made to my inner landscape and what I'm doing externally, like making sure I work out 5 hours a week, or I'm out in the shop turning wood on my wood lathe in an effort to try to correct what's haywire inside. So lately I've also been just trying to approach that inner realm very directly with more meditation and more writing. I think that's all I got. Thanks, Victor.
No problem. Thanks, Mike. Up next, Jamal. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jamal. I clicked to unmute you right when you clicked to unmute yourself, and that was my fault.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So it's afternoon. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm certain I won't cross your paths anytime soon outside of the virtual medium. I'm the executive director of Strive Atlanta. We're a workforce development agency, primarily adult serving, but we do have a youth and young adult program, Future Leaders, focused on the 16 to 24 demographic, which heavily incorporates mentoring. I'm primarily here to support James' undergrad buddy and to explore where there might be intersections of our work. In terms of creativity, I have 3 girls, and we often do faux chopped competitions, and we've decided we're going to do an air fryer chopped competition over the break, so to see who can come up with the best scenario. So we'll see.
Thank you very much. Okay, up next, Victoria.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. I'm Victoria Gitsy Nelson. I manage the mentoring program. It's a lunch buddy program for the Lake Washington School District. I've been doing that for, this is my third year? Yeah, third year doing that. And we do, well, normally we do one-on-one mentoring, and it's K through 5. It's in our elementary schools. And it sounds like I missed the question, but it sounds like, what do we do for creativity or an outlet? It sounds like something like that. And recently I just started exercising a lot. So just needed to change, like a couple of you mentioned, just changing my frame of mind and kind of getting out of this COVID mindset. And so that's helping me feel better. But I'm feeling a little guilty now because I'm hearing some of the others of you, and it's like, oh, I should be doing some volunteering. But you know, I'll have to think about that. So yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much. Up next, Jim.
Hi, Jim Schmotzer, Nooksack Valley Schools Mentor Coordinator. We're the last sort of public school district north of Bellingham, east of Linden. So we go to the Canadian border. We're as far as you can go, and you can't cross the border now. So we're stuck. I've been here, this is my 6th year here doing this. And on the creative side, yeah, I'm a writer. I do short fiction and poetry, and I had a series of short fiction things going kind of early days of the pandemic, and then kind of hit take a break and have lulled for a while. So I'm surviving.
Thank you very much. Next, Jim Justin.
Good morning, all, or afternoon, Jamal. I'm Jim Justin. I'm the contract lobbyist for Mentor Washington, as well as the College Success Foundation. I live in Olympia. A little hectic in terms of planning for this upcoming legislative session and how they're going to conduct their business and what their priorities are. So I've been spending a lot of time working. I'm a runner, and I have a running partner who's a physician and a structured schedule. So we've got to run at 5:30 or 6 in the morning, which gets me up and at 'em, gets me ready for the day. It's awful dark out though now. It's really, really dark. In terms of the break, my wife and I are fortunate enough that we have a house down in Gerhardt, Oregon, on the Oregon coast, northern Oregon coast. And I was down there for the first couple of months of the pandemic, working remotely, and I've spent a lot of time down there, and we will again during the upcoming holiday breaks. Nice to see you all.
Thank you, Jim. Up next, we have Carlesia.
Hello, good morning. Sorry I can't share my camera right now, but I am Carlesia Bell. I'm Executive Director of Phenomenal She, and we are a mentoring program based out of Federal Way, and we serve young women of color ages 12 to 24. And so we have programming 3 nights a week, and then we also match our girls with mentors. As far as what I've been doing to be creative, well, I have small kids, and I'm raising so I have a 3-year-old son, I'm raising my 4-year-old nephew, and I have a 9-year-old daughter. So they keep me pretty busy. So most recently, I've been trying to be creative and remember to move the elf on the shelf. And we're only day 3 into this. So yeah, so that's been a challenge. And then so over the holiday break, we'll do, you know, the houses, the cookie houses, and baking cookies and decorating. So that's what I'll get to do, is enjoy family during this break.
Thanks, Carlesia. And then last but not least, I believe, as Heather.
Hi, I'm Heather Downing, and I'm the program manager for Youth Success Mentoring, a program of Snoqualmie Valley Community Network. And you met my coworker, Kathy. She introduced herself just a little ago. Our program serves from Duval to North Bend, and we work with 2 school districts, Riverview and Snoqualmie Valley. And we're an in-school mentoring program. And this is our 4th year, and I've been with the program now 3 years. So, and we have a total of 17 schools, and I believe we're in 14 of the 17 schools. And what I do I'm an animal person, so we have a horse, and we just got a puppy who I'm training in obedience. So she's keeping us busy. And then over the break, we'll probably less Zoom and more family time and outside.
Thank you, Heather. Okay, I think I got everyone. I just want to thank you all for being here today. This is going to be one of the many steps Mentor Washington takes to reconnect with you as we continue to navigate through the ongoing obstacles. If anyone has any questions, feel free to enter them in the chat box, and we will answer them near the end. Okay, without further delay, you've got half the time, I think, left, James. Please give your best virtual welcome to our new Executive Director, James Miles.
Thank you, everyone. So great to see you, Jamal. I can't believe it's 25 years since Morehouse, bro. Great seeing you, man. Unbelievable. So as been stated, I'm James Miles. I use he, him pronouns. It's my 3rd day as Executive Director of Mentor Washington, the self-proclaimed Richard Pryor of pedagogy. And you can always find me online at fresh_professor, calling in from the unceded territory of the coastal Salish. So I'm hoping we can put respect on the native lands that we're on. And then I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself so we can figure out how we can work together and have fun and enjoy our lives. So here it is, story time with the Fresh Professor. This is me. So this is Paul Butler. He played Shylock in Merchant of Venice. I saw him at the Goodman Theater. I must have been 14 or 15 years old. And it was the first time I saw an actor of color in Shakespeare that looked like me. And his daughter, Jessica, was played by a Japanese-American woman. And I said to my friends, I was like, hey, that's us on stage. And that kind of transformed my life. I was like, I want to be a performer. I grew up with a pretty bad speech impediment and a stutter. And this helped, like acting helped me overcome some of those speech deficiencies. Also, around this time these 2 albums came out. Boogie Down Productions, Edutainment, which is a mixture of education and entertainment. I didn't know what that was. I knew I wanted to do it. And then NWA, Straight Outta Compton, which is just unfettered youth expression. I remember my dad playing NWA straight out of Compton every day, 4 times a day for months. He's like, this is us. This is the young people. This is something I never had a chance to say. This is great. And that pushed me to like, oh yeah, I want to be myself. I want to showcase my own artistry. So I'm an actor, right? I am an actor. Here's some of the things I've done, from the Electric Company to the original cast of In the Heights on Broadway. Are We There Yet? And then, of course, as a New York actor, Law and Order. And then I want to point out Michael J. Fox show, which kind of changed my life. That was one of the last performances I did. It was that and Touch with Fire, which was produced by Spike Lee, another Morehouse brother alum. So that was great to work with him on set. But Michael J. Fox, we were chatting at lunch, him and Wendell Pierce, who was on The Wire and was on this show as well. And Wendell was like, hey, what do you do when you're not acting? And I said, oh, I'm a teaching artist. I teach young people artistry, either in the classroom integrating into the school day or pre-professional learning in performance or music or dance. And Wendell's like, that's what I would love to do. I wish I could do that more often. When I'm not working, I go down to my home state of Louisiana and work with young people there. And I looked at him, I said, wow, yeah, that's right. Education is important. And then Michael J. Fox was talking about why he's doing this show. He did the show in 2013, and it was to put a face to Parkinson's, and representation matters. And so on the set of this show, I was so inspired, I quit acting. I called a good friend of mine, Michael Wiggins, and said, hey, can you hire me for a job? And he said, you've been an actor for 20 years. What would I hire you as? And I said, anything, I'll take it. So I became a part-time after-school coordinator in Bushwick, Brooklyn. And this more will come out of that. During this time of acting, especially when I was first getting started, I played a patient in a hospital. If you've ever seen Seinfeld and Kramer and Mickey pretend they have I think cirrhosis, I did that. And one moment stands out in particular, and this is why it's a mentoring moment, is I had some ailment where, I had a stiff back and like yellowed skin. And I said to the resident physician, I was like, oh, my back, I'm hurt. Help me out, doc. Here's what's wrong with me. And this physician said, oh, your back's stiff, you're black, you must smoke crack. And I said, pause. Let's break this acting right here. I said, you can't say that to another person based on their identity. And he said, well, that's what the studies show. Black people smoke crack. And I said, studies are biased. We know this. And this is the early 2000s when I was saying this to her. And I said, you have to take each individual into account and treat them like a human, not like a case study. And I knew then that that's what edutainment was, like education and entertainment combined. And I hope that shaped that young doctor's life. It definitely shaped mine, because, as these statistics lay out, the education system, the system we live in, the world is not serving young people, especially young people of color, especially young Black and brown girls and boys. And those are just some of the data, and there's more, right? In the midst of COVID, 73% of all children that have passed away through COVID have been Latinx or Black. 73% of all children that have died of COVID have been Black or brown. There's a huge disparity here. One, in terms of services accessible to these communities and to these young folks, and to how they are treated and mostly disregarded by society. And this goes into, what Tom and I are scheduled to have a conversation later today about ACEs, childhood experiences, adverse childhood experiences. This shapes the way young people interact in society and in the schools. So as Michael J. Fox, as Wendell Pierce, as Paul Butler, representation matters. How do you be a role model to young people? Someone that a caring adult, someone that they don't see, someone that they need to see more and more frequently, someone to guide them through life when the ups and downs are going through them. So I switched. I quit acting. I taught at NYU for about 10 years and developed a program there. And this was featured in Complex magazine. The program was called Fresh Education. And we taught middle school and high school English and social studies using hip hop pedagogy and process drama. The results of that was one, the high school students graduated and passing their standardized tests, and the middle school students, their test scores rose by 5%, right? That program is now worldwide. People are using hip hop, original hip hop music, and some of the lesson plans and music that I've created to support youth development and youth achievement. Also to that, here's a little example of something that we created. We were studying Romeo and Juliet, and of course we compare that to Kanye West, rapper Kanye West, and singer Taylor Swift, who had a little bit of beef a couple years ago. Where civil blood left civil hands unclean, right? I know Jamal appreciates that as a fellow theater goer and theater practitioner. In addition to that, we made music. So you're like, oh, well, what do you talk about hip hop music teaching? Here's an example. This was in response to people of the First Nations.
Native Americans settled across America when European nations were unaware of the area. They were more concerned with trading routes to India. The Ottoman Empire was now creating barriers, forced them from land and navigating the ocean. And this was the dawn of the age of exploration. European monarchs, popes desired everything, so they activated the doctrine of discovery, told the explorers to find lands and claim them, even if.
So that song, that video appears almost every year around this time, right after Thanksgiving, during Thanksgiving. We made that in 2015, and it's a testament to the music and to the artists. Soul Science Lab are the artists that produced that, or that performed on that track. I executive produced it. But every year that shows up in a different school setting, different building, and people tag me like, hey, we're using this. So that just makes me excited. Which brought me to Mentor Washington and how to bring this kind of edutainment to the mentoring programs itself. You know this data, why we mentor, why we do these things, how it supports young people's achievement and successes in life, reduces symptoms of depression. We all know that during COVID, our executive functioning is quite low. You know, our amygdala is working overtime. We're in that fight, flight, or freeze mode. Our cortisol levels are increased. Something needs to change, right? How do we subject young people to a better world? And that's through support, through mentoring, and through a caring adult in their life. And we do this through many different levels, you know, through activities, mentors and mentees, what they talk about, how they're engaging with each other, what interventions and preventions are we working in, how are we impacting policy. So, you know, I'm glad Jim's on this call because that's the work we'll be doing together. And societally, what are the impacts of mentoring on a society, right? We know that taxpayers will pay more money for a young person or an adult to, you know, live on SNAP benefits and then go to prison than they would to support that young person actually go to school, human services, and be a contributing member of society, whatever that may mean to them or to you. So we know that it's not just an investment in human beings, but it's also an investment in the entire world and country. We do this through applying culturally responsive practices, acknowledging students' backgrounds, the frame of reference, how they see the world, and the different performance styles, how they understand and how they showcase their understanding. Where do we find youth culture? You know, I'm a big advocate for young people. I digest a lot of media. You know, I'm thankful that I have two children, like two daughters, who tell me what's hot and what's not. They help me, like, how do I talk to young people? How do I talk to students, you know, that I don't know? They're informative. And of course, if for lack of anything else, you ask your local friendly teenager. We promote mentoring, best practices. This is our role as Mentor Washington. We provide expertise, we partner, and we conduct basic research alongside professionals in the field. And what's next for Mentor Washington? We have a town hall next week. at 1:30 p.m. We'll be talking to several practitioners, including Carlesia from Phenomenal She. And then we'll have National Mentoring Month, which is coming up in January. And then the Provider Council convenings will also happen. And then, save the date for our Mentor Washington Conference, May 4th and 5th, 2021. And of course, another Java with James is coming. So I went through that very quickly. I want to say thank you. We are the best. And now it's time for just some chatting and some conversation. Thanks, Vic, for letting me do that. And I'll stop sharing so we can see each other's face without some GIFs blocking things.
Well done. That was impressive. You got through that really quickly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I know some of you sent questions in the chat about receiving the presentation. Just send me an email and we can share that. Now, I want to open it up for Q&A. If anyone has a question that they would like to ask James, feel free to unmute yourself.
I have a question that's not related to mentoring, but 25 years ago at Morehouse College, did you know somebody named Michael James from South Carolina? He and his brother Marshall.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, he and I were good friends, and it would be about the same year.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, from South. I have to check with Jamal. Yes, I'm sure we've known each other by face, if not by name. Yeah. Such a small, tiny, and close-knit school. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
A good school.
Yes, yes. Very proud.
James, there's a group out in Washington for years called Pongo. Are you familiar with them?
Oh, yeah. Pongo Poetry, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah. I actually was going to meet their ED for a beer, then COVID happened. And so we're having a virtual drink together. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I've got one. What's your overall, what's your vision for Mentor Washington?
Yeah, it's day 3, but I definitely want to raise the public profile of Mentor Washington. I want to reach more young people. I want to reach more mentors, diversify the mentoring field itself, bring in the cultural responsiveness, creativity, and arts-based practices that are effective, and research shows that. And then I also want to show the world how important a mentor in your life can be to success of the young person and to society at large. But that's a big vision. We're meeting today to actually discuss what we want to do for the next 9 months. So, it's a team effort. I don't want to be a leader that says, here's what we're going to do. It's like, all right, what does Vic, what does Laura, what does Tom say? Let's come together and let's plan for the future. But yeah, definitely, most importantly is making sure that every young person that needs a mentor has access to a mentor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And James,
and of course, shifting. Yeah.
One of my challenges is I'm a one-person show, and
yes,
would love to see have Mentor Washington help build resources for people like me whose whole entire budget is just a small
just you.
And I'm a community-based one-on-one program. But I feel like I'm always, banging my head against the wall. It was hard enough when I was with Juvie, but at least they did like the administrative piece. They processed the paperwork, stuff like that.
Right.
One of the things, the challenges for me, and it may be for some other programs, I have to pay out of my pocket for background checks. Because I do not have a budget.
Right.
Also, I have to beg to attend trainings for free. And there's when there are events, or like we have the summit, I guess Nationals having their summit next month.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yes.
the deadline to ask for a scholarship. So it's kind of like always, are they going to let me in for a training? And yeah, that's some of the challenges that I've been facing.
Yeah. In terms of resources, we are working on having resources that are readily available and accessible. So that part is less of a headache. And also I'm trying to reach out to folks, different sponsors, to direct outreach of potential mentors to, different parts of the state. So hopefully we can do those two will happen. In terms of funding and being a one-person show, let's talk about that. There needs to be more advocacy and funds directed towards youth development and these programs to support those efforts. And then background checks, let's figure something out. Let me think about that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Anybody else?
So I'm fairly new to this, and so when I came
Yes.
on in July, I turned to the internet to try to find out everything I could about mentoring within Washington State. And I actually came across a couple of your videos, Victor, of Zooms that you had led, and they helped a lot. Since then, I've attended quite a few of Mentor Colorado's virtual coffees, and I was wondering if you guys were familiar with Mentor Colorado and the virtual coffee program they have. It's outstanding. I'd love to see something like that here in Washington, if possible, to support mentor programs with training and an opportunity to get together for discussions on current things like COVID and how we handle it. So I was just curious if you had come across that before, because it's really, it's helped me a lot. So.
Yes. Yeah. And, the future of these Java with James will be just that, to provide training, support for mentoring programs and organizations and resources. I do quite a few quote unquote SEL hangouts with school districts around the state to figure out how to support the teachers serving youth, especially during COVID, and how to support the youth and their social emotional needs. So this will be an addition to that.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Yes.
So I don't have any questions. However, I just wanted to say thank you for that wonderful introduction, of letting us know a little bit more about you.
Yes.
Excited about you being an HBCU grad, as I am.
Oh, okay.
Dillard University.
That's what's up. What's up, Dillard?
Okay. So, but no, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about future Java with James. So I look forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlesia. I'm looking forward to you next week when we chat on Wednesday. Is that Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday.
As am I.
Okay. If no one has anything else.
Victor, can I add a quick comment? James, welcome. Look forward to hopefully meeting you in person at some point and working with you on policy objectives. There is high interest in the legislature to tackle equity issues.
Yes.
And we fit in that bucket of what they want to do. They're constrained by resources, obviously, because state budget's not in the best shape. But I wanted to welcome you and let you know we've got some opportunities coming up, and they're not gonna happen tomorrow. It's going to take some time and some work, but we've got a mindset with the legislature that I think could lead to some success down the road.
Great. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay. On that note, I just want to thank everyone for joining us. Stay tuned for the next Java with James. You'll be receiving a whole bunch of emails from me and the team regarding our upcoming events. So I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Victor, before you go, can I jump? Are we doing anything for National Mentor Month next month?
Yes.
Or are there resources for us as well on that? Like national used to have postcards or whatever.
Yes, you will see a bunch of stuff on social media and in our newsletter about National Mentoring Month.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.